doing prosecutions, if I remember.
Story Marshall and Hardin.
And Hardin,
Oh, and
that's
Hardin
right.
too.
And then you
Okay.
went to just Story County.
Story and Boone.
And yep, and then you came to us.
Came back when Jennifer got elected. First new hire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Drive all the way in from Johnston.
Yes.
Extremely active in the Boy Scouts. So I know you're a good leader, and you're a good leader here, and we sure appreciate your work. And yep.
Took a troop to the National Jamboree last summer as part of the Iowa contingent. Had a great time.
Yeah.
in there.
You and I
That's
are always
great.
talking about the Scouts, and it's proud to know you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you now. Moving on then to the consent agenda. Item number 3 is approved minutes from regular session of February 20, 2018. Item number 4 is accept the manure management plan update, BL Farms Incorporated, ID number 67141, Larson Site, annual update report received and placed on file with the following changes made to the manure management plan. Change crop rotation using manure analysis for determining application rates when applying the manure. Item number 5 is accept manure management plan update, Breeze Hill Farms LLC, ID number 65770, annual update report received and placed on file with the following changes made to the manure management plan. Change crop rotation using manure analysis for determining application rates when applying manure. And item number 6 is accept manure management plan update, Burt Farm and Livestock Incorporated, ID number 62502, manure management plan received and placed on file with no changes to manure management plan. Moving on then to item number 7, accept manure management plan update, Prestige Farms of Iowa LLC, ID number 67105, PI-347 Finisher, annual update report received and placed on file with no changes made to the manure management plan. Item number 8, approved request for the use of the mobile band shell. Midnight Ballroom has submitted a completed mobile band shell agreement for a rodeo event to be held at the Central Iowa Fairgrounds on Saturday, March 23rd, 2018, from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. That kind of bad for an old man, wouldn't it?
It'd be okay.
I'm not looking at you.
You're not
No.
past middle age yet.
That's true. Okay. Item number 9, approved claims. Approved claims as audited and authorized the county auditor and recorded to issue payment to the same. The listing of the claims paid on this meeting and all claims paid in the month of March will be published as part of the first meeting in April. Thus, we have read the consent agenda. The chair would entertain a motion to approve these.
Mr. Chair, I would approve, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as printed.
Mr. Chair, I will second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion on it?
No, sir.
If not, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Okay, the motion has been approved. Item number 10 then is a lease for the Collinburn Prairie Reserve Crop Ground. The Marshall County Conservation Board accepted seal bids at the MCCB meeting on February 12, 2018 for the cash lease group for the cash lease of the crop ground at the Collinburn Prairie Reserve located approximately 3 miles south and 1 mile west of Van Cleve in south central Marshall County. Bid will include cash rent for 89.27 acres of crop ground. And Mike, do you have anything to say towards that, or you? Since you're here, I'll give you an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, the Collinburn Prairie Preserve came to us a handful of years ago. We've been slowly converting pasture ground to the native vegetation, prairie vegetation, slowly. And when the lease came up this last year, we modified the existing crop acres from 120 down to the 89.27. That was to take some of the crop acres and put them into wildlife food plot, as well as restore some of those acres again to the native vegetation. And then also roughly 19 acres of the crop ground will now be part of a soil conservation program called STRIPS that we're working with Tim Youngquist from Iowa State. And what that involves is planting native vegetation strips right through the crop ground in rows that will again provide soil, wind and water erosion measures. So that's where we reduced it from 120 down to 89.2 acres. And the bids that were, we had 3 bidders at the Conservation Board meeting on February 12th. The high bid went to CNC Farms, Chris and Corey McDammon for $190 an acre for a 3-year lease. And they were also the previous lease tenants.
Do you remember what the CSR rating was on that ground?
About 53, isn't it?
Something
like that. I forget.
Pretty low.
CSR rating for the entire farm is 54.
Okay.
Mike, did you have multiple bids?
3 bidders.
3 bidders?
And you had an auction bid there.
Correct.
And so that gave everybody an opportunity to jump in if they so
Correct.
desired.
Yep, and then it went back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. The gentleman that gave you this land gave it with the expectations that you were going to do it and use it for conservation purposes.
Correct, yep.
And that's why all of this is this way.
Correct.
So,
It was a total of a 220 acre farm.
mhm. Okay. Any questions?
So just for clarification, this land's being leased to a private,
Correct.
okay.
Be another farmer.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. The chair would entertain a motion to accept this bid.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we accept the bid from CNC Farms, Craig and Corey Damon, for a total amount of $16,619.30 per year for a 3-year lease effective April 1st, 2018 through February 28th, 2021.
Your second.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Okay, motion is carried. Moving on then to resolution, to item number 11, resolution 2018-0018. And Paul, would you like to bring us up to date on this?
Yes. You guys are familiar with the paved billets that we've been doing next to the primary roads when they do, we've got several agreements where they pave out the crossroads where we intersect with primary highways.
Yep.
We did it on 14, 96, and 330 was last summer. This coming summer will be 146, and we've had really good luck with them, and they're working well for us. And we are also familiar with the Transportation Alternatives Program, where we have money that's available for using for other than transportation, standard purposes that we would think of. And I was talking with Marty Wymore, and we thought there's a place here where we could actually be eligible for transportation alternatives funding and benefit our road system and benefit the trail system that we already have by doing these fillets on places where the recreational trail crosses our right of way. And so we were gonna apply for that. We need a resolution with your support to be able to do that. We would be targeting what would ultimately be 2019 construction, I think, but this is just to get the ball rolling and get to where we could program this. But it would be similar to what we've already done with the paved road fillets, except we would extend them out far enough that it would cover the places where this trail crosses our county roads. And so it would actually rid conservation of having to deal with any of the rock areas on this trail, because it would be then continuous pavement all the way from town.
Well, it would certainly make it easier for our grader operator,
Yes.
because then you're not dropping the blade trying to do a little short section. You
It's-
just work your way up to it and it's done.
We would be getting, basically, not have to do granular maintenance on 2 areas that are between Highway 330 and a bridge. Just this little island that we have to take care of, and those would be paved. The safety aspect for the public and for our operators, by just not having to have any part of their machine out into the primary road when they're doing their normal rock resurfacing. And it also helps motorists that are coming out onto the primary, because they're leaving from pavement instead of leaving from rocks, so you're a lot less likely to have wheel spin if you're trying to jump out into a 65, 70 mile an hour, traffic area. And and we've also had experience with this edge drop off that happens at our crossroads too. And by by DOT instructional memorandums, we are responsible for those drop-offs that happen right on the, even though they're out in the road, in the DOT right away.
Well, I think the safety aspect alone is worth this whole thing.
Yes.
That's
And,
what we've been doing in all our other locations when
Mhm.
we've had an opportunity.
And there isn't an upcoming project on 330, and there may not be for a while, so this is a way that we can get some of these fillets out on 330 without having them make improvements right on the primary road.
What do you think that opportunity is in your budget if we do go into this and we do this, because it seems to be a no-brainer? As long as this company would be here doing these fillets on this section, taking it from Melbourne all the way down to the corner past roads,
And
so
I-
we've got them all done completely through the county then.
I have done that estimate, and I will definitely see if there's a way. What I will try to do is have another project that would be totally our funding, but we would tie it to the transportation alternative project so that the bidder would get them all. And there is, in my estimation, the other 14 crossings that are on that route, and I'm counting both sides of the road, because sometimes, some places there's two, some places there's only one. I would estimate that to be maybe 140,000. So if we could come up with that with local, we have to fund it locally, but it's doable. The price that I'm estimating right now, especially with the 9 that we're looking at on this resolution, my estimation would be that the match for my department would be 36,000, which is less than half of what we've been paying on a per location basis through our agreements with the DOT.
With the DOT, yeah.
So we're getting this cheaper than we get it even if there was a primary road project.
Okay, because if we go on that south, if we go south of Melbourne, we're on E63 there. We should be able to use farm to market on that, on part of that, or are we paved on both sides of
It is
that?
possible if we're paving on a farm to market route that we could use some FM funds.
So we'd be on E63, would be farm to market, S52, again, we'd be on a farm to market road.
At least on one side.
Yeah. We've got some pretty good opportunities to be able to use some other funding
Yeah.
sources to get this done all the way.
The ones that we are proposing today, none of them are farm to market
No.
routes.
I just, the more I think about this, when you're running a machine and you're watching a grader blade going this way and this way and this way and this way, you could miss a car coming 70 mile an hour. It's only a matter of seconds. And
Yeah.
the safety for our personnel, our machine, and the other people on the road, I think this is worthwhile doing, just on that alone.
Yeah, and I know that our operators really appreciate it, and the ones that have it are only in 55 mile an hour speed limits. We're not talking, and you know that they don't just go 65 on 330. I mean,
Really?
The Yugos
I
go
haven't-
65.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you drive on it, but
No,
maybe
no.
you do, maybe you only go 65 and a half, maybe.
I think it is a half, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
This
So-
is
Any more
Yeah.
questions from the board for Paul? Okay. You got any more?
The only thing is like I said, this is my cost estimate, and it's a tough estimate to do because it's really what I call specialty work. It's more like commercial asphalt, like you would see asphalt companies that do driveways. This isn't mainline, 4,000 ton a day paving. It's gonna be it's tough to estimate because there aren't a lot of projects like this lit. So the traffic control is a tough guess because there's gonna be a lot of traffic control. Every place where we're in primary, we have to put out traffic control like the DOT specifies. And so there's a little bit of guesswork here, and I made the ton prices high, so hopefully I'm still on the high end of the estimate.
Are we gonna have to do any site work upgrades before paving?
No, the only thing I put in there was I estimated what we call class 10 excavation, roadway and borrow, and that is basically going to be a motor grader or a skid steer that's coming in there and just prepping the site to get it to where they can lay down asphalt on it.
Another time. I'd like to hear where you're at with Ragbri and crossing our 4-lane highways twice.
Yes.
Well,
Well, we probably have to wait until Ragbri does their official release of the route.
Oh, that wasn't the official one?
They released the overnight cities, but I don't know if they've released the actual
Okay.
have yet. Does
Okay.
anybody know if they have a map released yet? I thought it was the 16th of March or something like that that is coming out. I have a tentative map that I,
'Cause the way it looks, they want to cross the 4-lane twice.
tentatively.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's for another day.
Yes.
okay.
Okay. Any more questions for Paul?
For down the road, what about Highway 30? That needs to be done too at some
I really
point.
would
Is
like
that-
to, and what I'll do is I'll use our experience that we have on 330 and doing the letting, but that would leave, basically, we would have Highway 30 is the last primary route that wouldn't have it.
Yep.
So I would really like to get that completed.
Okay.
We're getting pretty close to being done with these.
Yep.
Okey-doke. If there's no further questions, roll call vote, or no, I need a motion.
Need motions.
You got a motion, Steve?
I'll make a motion
Okay.
here in just a moment. I'd make a motion to adopt resolution number 2018-018, application for roadway and trail improvements from 233rd Street west to Glick Avenue along the Highway 330 trail.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
Been moved and seconded. One last chance. Any more questions? If not, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes?
Okay, motion has been approved. Moving on then to resolution, item number 12,
Thanks, Mike.
resolution. Yeah, thank you. Mr. Heil, you're headed this way. Would you be able to explain this to everybody?
Good morning, this is a couple of abatements. These are two properties that the city of Marshtown's been eyeing on for a long time and pursuing. There are some nuisance properties, and so in part of the agreement we put together, this polishes it off. So they finally have taken deed, they've gone through the tax sale process on both 519 North Center Street and 405 Union Street. On 519 North Center Street, the total amount of taxes is $2,243. 773, that is City of Marshtown special assessments, $472 in fees and interest, so total actual taxes, $998, and $159 of that is county portion. So that's really what the county would be missing.
So
out of those.
we're just on the hook for $159.
Yeah.
This year, if we don't do it, it's more next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on Union Street, it's a total of $1,495, and 591 of those is special assessments for the city, $143 in fees, and then total of $761 in tax, and $121 that is the county portion. And the point of doing these is, hey, we get this abatements, we get these back on the tax rolls, get them all cleaned up. The city's done a lot of work, especially on that 519. That was that house caught on fire, so they've already demolished that. And the demolish that they did on it, they didn't assess fees on that. They knew that they were getting it all taken care of through this process.
Have they said they've got anybody interested in the properties and they bring property owner, or are they just gonna put it up for sale?
I do know that they do have a couple interested. I don't know where they are exactly on the process, but I know on that one that they do have a couple neighbors that are interested in it, so.
Okay.
Was their intent to leave it bare or to build on it?
I think it was sell it, and I don't know for sure what
Okay.
exact their intention is, but I think it's to sell it and allow the owner to do what they want.
Well, either way, it's on the tax rolls.
That's right.
Jared, what was the county tax for property number 2? Was it 120?
121.
121, okay.
That's the county portion.
Okay.
Is it on? Did I speak loud enough to get into that one?
Okay.
Other questions? Now that we got the mic on, we're done?
You might, just for the record, go back through the first and second one again as far as what the county share is.
Yeah, it's on 519 North Center Street, $159 is actually the county share, and 405 Union Street is $121 is the share of those two parcels.
Okay. Are there any questions for Jared?
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
You bet. Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion then to adopt this resolution.
Mr. Chair, I motion that we adopt resolution number 2018-0019, abatement of real estate taxes.
And I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions or comments?
No, sir.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Solosek.
Yes.
Okay, motion has been approved. And moving on then to item number 13, Corey Eldridge site construction permit application on an existing confinement feeding operation number 65974, setting the date and time for a public hearing on Tuesday, March 20th, 2018 at 9 a.m. in Marshall County Courthouse for a confinement feeding operation construction permit application. And I would, as chair, would entertain a motion at this time. Well, let's talk about it a second. Can we do this at the beginning of our next board meeting then, on the 20th?
We can.
And that's what we have set? Okay, we're good to go then.
Yeah, and they're just going from a non-permitted to a permitted, so they're obviously expanding and
Adding a few.
and adding a few.
This is a cattle calf type situation, so. Chair would entertain a motion then.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to set the date and time for Tuesday, March 20th, 2018 at 9:00 a.m. in Marshall County Courthouse for a confinement feeding operation construction permit application public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Solosek.
Yes.
Okay, item number 14 is administrative recount of City Council Ward 2 special election, discussion and possible action on a request by the auditor recorder for administrative recount of City Council seat held on February 27, 2018 for Ward 2 in Marshalltown, Iowa, in Marshall County, state of Iowa. Anything you want to put forth in regard to this for us to?
The two candidates, the top two candidates have selected their recount delegate, and they have selected their third recount delegate as Maria Vargas Gonzalez from the Recorder Auditor's Office. She's not involved in the election process.
Mhm.
Obviously, she helps on the big elections with checking things in and out, but is not really part of the election team. So she's the one that's been selected. We have, it looks like we're going to probably do this recount on Monday, March 12th, sometime in the morning. So
Okay,
those were dates that everybody was
Mhm.
available.
that worked then.
That worked, so we can get it done sooner rather than later. We are required by code to have this completed by the 23rd.
After the canvas.
Yeah, the date, number of days, when you count everything out, the 23rd's the latest, but everybody wanted to jump on it, and why not? So,
Yeah, get it over with.
get it done, and
Mhm.
so.
So today, then, all we need is just the motion that will.
We need the resolution to
Participate.
be able to, continue the process, to
Okay.
officially continue.
The chair would entertain a motion to that regard.
No.
Missed on the back
This- We're
page.
not a resolution.
No, it's not.
Can we just approve?
It's an approval, isn't it?
It's an approval.
Okay, because we're approving you to conduct.
Do we
To
have-
conduct it,
I don't think we
Mhm.
have to do this in the form of a resolution, do we?
I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know.
Well, the way it's set in our agenda, it's not a resolution.
Yeah.
Let's just have a
Well,
motion for
let's
approval.
get
You know,
Gosh.
if so that we don't hold things up,
Just a
how
minute.
long would it take to find it out? We can always amend our agenda and redo it.
Give me just a moment.
Sorry.
Well, we were trying to be proactive and not have to have a special board meeting, because that's kind of so they did, the individual that requested it late Friday afternoon, so we updated this agenda very quickly.
It's okay, we can watch the snowfall for a while.
We don't want to hold
We
the
don't.
city up on our end.
No, and we do not want to watch the snowfall. I'm tired
This
of
is
it
just a day
too.
testing cost out of farm to market on a last summer project.
Are you blue?
I think so. Right.
Since I'm going to do that after the meeting anyway.
Perfect timing.
What is today? Today is the 6th. so-
Thank you.
Thank you. That's the one you had yesterday, because we talked about breaking our clips off.
How were the roads coming over from State Center?
Not, 30 was fine. The in-road, I mean, the in-town
Hello,
roads are always
Sam.
worse than
Hey,
the highway.
do we need a resolution or we just need?
It was
the board
fine, I didn't have any
to
issues.
pass,
I
it's
had,
okay to
I
conduct
had
it?
just, I'm a little bit unhappy because I just took out all the weight out of my truck. I threw it all back in this morning, so I suppose that's my fault for thinking.
Did you have to drive any gravel?
What's that? No,
No, you don't have to drive any gravel?
nope, we live on the edge of town, so I just take
Okay.
Eastman down to 30 and head over. And when it's like this out, I typically don't go down 330, go up 330 to get into town. I usually go down Center Street, just because Center Street's usually taken care of by the time I get in.
Okay,
I know
we're
Kyle
just
this
taking
morning, when
action.
Kyle got
Perfect.
into the radio station at 4, I asked him how the roads were. and
Permission to
His
take
technical
action.
evaluation of it was that the
Okay,
roads
perfect.
were poopy.
Oh, poopy.
I think Paul
We're gonna
knows
go
what
with
that
this
means.
then.
We
All
don't start
right.
decupifying them until 5.
Yes, that's the plan. That's what I wanted
Don't we
to
have a
hear,
special
so.
chemical to do that?
Perfect, all right, thanks.
To decomify, of course.
We're good to go.
We're good.
Yeah, she said we just need the administrative action so that we can.
Okay.
Okay.
According to Cindy Reitzel, so.
Okay.
That being said, Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve the auditor recorder Nan Benson to conduct an administrative recount of City Council Ward 2 special election held on February 27th, 2018 for Marshalltown, Iowa, in Marshall County, in the state of Iowa.
Your second.
And I will second.
It has been moved and seconded then to approve this motion. Any further discussion? Thank you, Nan, for looking
Yes,
that up for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to get all our i's dotted and t's crossed when everyone's here, and we can do it officially.
5 minutes is
Easier
easy.
to ask for forgiveness than beg for permission.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, no further discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Patton.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes.
Okay, the motion has been approved. Moving on then to item number 15, which is our public forum. Is a time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those that are listed on this agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in the public forum. Anyone wishing to address the microphone this morning? Lucas, you're batting your eyes, you're not?
Good.
Okay. If not, I'll move on then to item number 16, adjournment. The next regular session is March 20th, 2018 at 9 a.m. All business to be acted upon at that session should be submitted to the county auditor, recorder's office, or the board of supervisors office by Thursday, March 15th, 2018 at 1 p.m. There being no further business to come before the board, the meeting is adjourned at 9:31.